I could give you a magic wand to erase the most terrible mistake that your child has ever made out of their life, what would that mistake be? If you're comfortable enough, can you share it with me in the comment section? I really want to know what that mistake is. Now, today I want to be talking about how parents can convert failure into success, how they can utilize the failures in the life of their children into success. Do you think that is possible? Let's continue. If as a parent, you see failure as the most negative thing and you dread failure, you're never going to see failure as an opportunity to convert those failures and setbacks into successes. Some time ago, one parenting coach got into an interview session with some parents. She asked a lot of parents, what would be that thing that you would love to erase as a mistake out of the life of your child? If you're ever given like a magic wand and say, oh, erase this mistake out of my child or out of your child's life, what would that mistake be? And she was amazed that all the parents said they would not want any of the mistakes to be erased because they learned so much from each of those mistakes, and that helped their children to understand and learn from those experiences and improved their general life. How can you as a parent guide your child to see failure as not negative but as a stepping stone to converting it into success? I know that as individuals we've all heard that failure is your stepping stone. We've all heard those cliche lines about failure and all, but do you truly believe that failure can be converted into success? Now, this is how you can actually convert failure into success. I want you as a parent to think about failure as someone going to the gym to do exercises. Now, if you're only going to the gym today to do exercise, maybe you take on one weight and you kind of start doing some less strenuous exercises and all, your body would react to it. Then the next day you add more pressure, you continue. Before you know it, your elasticity expands and you can accommodate more pressure from the machines that you're using to exercise. I'd like you to think about failure in the life of your child that way, because without you experiencing the setbacks in the life of your child does not have the opportunity to learn from those failures. They don't have the opportunity to, kind of mop in the resilience that is required in life. I want you to see failure as an opportunity. And failure can happen in different aspects, can happen in different situations. It can happen in making friends. It can happen with coping with a new class or a new school. It could be any presentation, but I want you to view failure as not necessarily a negative thing, but view it as an opportunity to learn, and also view it as an opportunity to identify where the problem is. So this is how you can do it. Number one, when you notice that your child is failing in a certain aspect, your job should be to kind of try to identify why that is happening. Could it be that, let's talk about, for example, your child is unable to make friends and you feel like your child is not kind of getting along with other children and it's disturbing you. So number one, you want to find out why that is happening. Could it be that my child doesn't have good social skills? Or could it be that, people in my child's class are bullies, or the school is not just, standardized enough to make them be able to improve their social skills? You want to be able to identify where the problem is from. And that way you start taking actions. So if you identify that maybe your child doesn't have good social skills, you start opening up your child to be a part of social systems in school or maybe in your surroundings, so that they can have healthy social interactions, maybe with other children, and that way maybe they can start learning good social skills. So another example is if, for example, your child is known as the villain and your child is always causing trouble, you need to identify, because truth is, when we talk about failure and setbacks, people always think about it in the academic aspect, but you could have setbacks in life from other aspects, not necessarily failing academically, right? So, for example, if you say, your child is always the villain and all of that, and your child is always breaking the rules in school, you need to identify why that bothers you as a parent. Is it bothering me because actually my child is causing harm in the school, or is it bothering me because I don't like the idea that my child is tagged that name of a villain, or is it bothering me for whatsoever reason, you need to first identify why that is a concern to you. If you think that it's causing harm, then you can now be able to engage your child to deal with the reason why because if you can't identify it as a parent, you'll not be able to guide your child appropriately. Your job at that time should be the trustworthy person. There's something called don't put more on the bruises, because don't keep reminding your child how horrible they are. No, don't be that person. He has heard that enough. You want to be the go-to person. You want to kind of evolve around that situation and not get stuck in it. Evolving involves you opening up room for communication and opening up room to be the go-to person he can come to, and that way you can now influence. So these are the kind of cycle you can use as a parent to deal with failure or setbacks in the life of your child. And if you didn't take anything from this video, take this back. Don't start out parenting trying to avoid failure. Always see failure as an opportunity and not a setback or something negative. I hope you learned this. I'll see you on the next. Bye-bye.